You're listening to Tom Hunt here on BBC Radio Suffolk. He is the Conservative MP for Ipswich. And a number of buildings in Ipswich have problems with unsafe cladding, Tom Hunt. And I know this is something that you've been working towards. This is after the Grenfell tragedy. Inspections were carried out on many properties here in Suffolk. One that failed the inspection was St Francis Tower. Work's being carried out on the structure at the moment. And that's meant scaffolding and plastic wrapping is covering the building, shutting out light for residents, possibly for several months. We've been to see what it's like.
Gloomy, depressing. You've never any idea what's going on outside. You're completely disconnected from the outside world. You can't tell if it's raining or sunshine. It just feels so oppressive. There's no kind of airflow and air movement.
Yeah, the lack of airflow is, especially this time of year, it can be unbearable when it's hot.
And additionally, we've now got bars across the windows, so it feels like a prison cell. It's just a really unpleasant experience.
Well, I'm sure the residents are pleased the cladding work is being sorted out, but the fact the scaffolding is up and means that they can't open the windows in some cases properly, and they've got this cladding all around, and it's going to be there for month after month after month. What do you say to them, Tom Hunt?
Well, I was in St Francis Tower last week. I went into 3 different flats in St Francis Tower, and I was shocked. And then the week after, the bars went in and they could barely open their windows, so the situation got even worse. I wrote an initial letter, and after my visit, I wrote another much more strongly worded letter. And I mean, it's. I struggle really to think of an example of something which has been so outrageous that I've come across since I became a member of Parliament. I think it's absolutely appalling. And I think that it's right that yourselves are shining a light on it. I think it's right that the East Anglian Daily Times are shining a light on it and had it as their front page yesterday. And I will continue to bang on about it as much as I need to until it's sorted out. I think it's absolutely shocking that in today's day and age, my constituents are being treated like that. And it causes me upset just to think about it. It's an appalling situation, and it's terrible.
And again, you've been banging the drum for those people who live in those properties and not getting what they want and not getting probably what you want from the Conservative government when it comes to this cladding issue and the amount of money that people are still having to find themselves.
Well, you'll be aware that I did rebel. I have rebelled on votes on cladding and support for leaseholders because I felt very strongly about it, and many of my constituents are impacted by it. And it was an issue from the moment I was elected. It was an issue, and it's been an issue throughout. And more of my constituents have been caught up in it. And the government have provided, funds to support leaseholders, and in fact, many of my constituents have benefited from those funds, but not all of my constituents. And I've said that I do not want to leave any leaseholder behind. So therefore, I'm continuing in my campaign with other MPs to try and get the support we want to get from government. We've had some support, but we need more support, and it is going to be a lot of money. It's probably going to be an extra sort of £8 or £9 billion to cover all leaseholders, being frank. But I think we've got to create a new system, make sure this never happens again. But in the meantime, we've got to make sure that those people who, through no fault of their own, find themselves in this sort of position, get the support they need, because I've met them and I feel for them, and I'm there for them, just like I'm there for the people who are currently living in St Francis Tower.
OK. Jerry's just been in touch. He's a fan. Bully for Tom. Best MP ever for Ipswich, he says. So you got a fan out there.